When that shutter clicks, that moment in time cannot be repeated. A photograph with any importance in terms of subject matter and place cannot be repeated, and that's exciting. When you go into a portrait sitting, what's important to me was to capture them and their personality and their time at that little slice in their life. Let's show their strengths, let's show their intelligence, let's show their personality. Can you get all that in one fell swoop? Not always, but that's what you're trying for. I always had a rule in doing portraiture that I'd make sure I covered what I thought they wanted. What's the image they want to project? Cover that one, and then do one for Dawn. If my conception of what I would like them to look like was different than theirs, I'd do one for me. I was photographing a group of a mother and two small daughters. This little girl haunted me. Her eyes were so beautiful and big. And I had some sheets of material, so I put that up, lit it carefully, and put her behind it, and took a photograph of her looking directly ahead through this material, and I called the image Through the Veil. A lot of things that are just done for the sheer fun of it. One photograph I made that is this lady that had been the pianist in our ward choir. and I'd looked at her several times. Then I found out one day that she was a second grade school teacher. And as I looked at her, I thought, wow, she looks like my old second grade teacher who scared the tar out of me. And I photographed her that way. I gave her prints of it. And this happens far too often, that they used her picture at her funeral. If you're photographing business people and you're photographing them from here up, you're making a statement about their facade, and then facial evaluation becomes crucial. But if you're photographing them as an artist or in their profession, if you can put them in a setting that talks about them, tells that little story about them, that is a wonderful thing. Probably my most successful photograph was a portrait of Avard Fairbanks in his studio. You walked in there and you couldn't even walk around because it was so cluttered with product of his work. I photographed him with a wide-angle lens and in about half a dozen pieces of his work surrounding him, so he's almost lost in this field of things. But I also did Arnold Freeberg in several situations, but the one I liked most was a profile of him in front of his portrait of Washington kneeling by his horse in prayer. And that was used on his funeral service, which I was gratified by. As I look in the obituaries, it breaks my heart to see many snapshots that are not even good snapshots, representing the life of that person. If a husband is important to a wife and vice versa, and their family is important as a group, and they want to have that recorded in their home to enhance that whole feeling of generations and family ties, then I think the role of portraiture will always be here. Any way you use that tool, this passion's got to come ahead of the commercial aspect of it. You've got to make a living at it. You've got to get some return, but most of the good, and I know a lot of really top photographers, what they have in common is a passion to express themselves in that medium. It's incredible what imagery you can get if you're interested in beautiful imagery. You can express yourself through a camera. This is a language that I can use, and I don't have to speak well. I don't have to. This is a tool that I can use, and I enjoy that capture of that slice of time as much now as I ever did. That's worth capturing the right kind of image with the importance that places on it.